Good morning, everyone. It is a gorgeous day in Wyoming. I'm up here with a drone right now. I wanted to give everyone a quick rundown over everything that's uh, been going on the last few weeks. So let's go ahead and get started here. You'll notice the grass has started growing in where all the stumps were dug out. I got all the groundwork done around the gravel pit. And in and around where the shop is going to be, as well as the concrete slab that got poured. You can kind of see the shape that it will be. I dug and scrounged up some big rock uh, to go along the edges of the gravel pit. I also did some groundwork across the road. I own over there as well. I own right up to the bridge. I cleared out that little area. Made a couple entryways to get into there. The electrical company, as you can see, is working on the utility poles. They've been at it for the last few weeks. Hopefully we'll have electricity to our house in the next day or so. And be able to have electricity at the shop and anything else that we build on this road and on our property. I'm going to fly over to our house here. The grass has started growing around the house where we planted more grass to what's the word I'm looking for? We downsized the size of our area here, so we planted grass around the area that we didn't think we'd need, and the grass is growing back, or is starting to grow. We got the concrete slab poured for the garage. I'll be building the garage, and there will be a company coming in hopefully in the next few days to start working on the shop. So I got a lot to get done today, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. Alright, I just got done hooking up the trailer to the dump truck. I gotta go down to the property where I did the pond to do some groundwork, which will probably take several days to do. But before I do that, I just want to give you all a quick little update on my equipment. I bought a bucket for my John Deere skid steer. I am also demoing this John Deere 180 excavator, as well as this Komatsu D65 PXI bulldozer. So for any of you that doesn't know what that is, basically dealerships will allow people that are looking to buy their equipment, they'll allow them to take them, try them out, see if something they want to buy or continue, or if it's something that they still want to buy, let them get a feel for how it runs and controls and all that. For an X amount of time. So I'll be demoing these two pieces of equipment for the next 2 weeks. The Komatsu is a little bit bigger than my Caterpillar D6. The Komatsu the Komatsu has 217 horsepower. My D6 has 125, and the Komatsu is 24 tons, and my D6 is 18 tons. So not only in power and weight, not only is the Komatsu bigger in power and in weight, it's bigger in dimensions too, so it's just overall a bigger bulldozer. So I'm looking into buying those two, but I'm going to demo them first for the next few weeks. Also, one of the guys that I bid against on the Libier Excavator contacted me, said he was frustrated with himself that he didn't continue to bid on it. So he got a hold of me and gave me an offer, and I took him up on the offer because I said I didn't really need them both anyway. So I sold him the Libier Excavator with all the attachments, the bucket attachments and the hook attachments. Once he come out, he saw that I had a backhoe, asked if I was selling it, and I'm like, well, no, I wasn't planning on it, but make me an offer and we'll go from there. So he made me an offer. I liked the offer, and I sold him the backhoe as well. My smaller case excavator, I took that down to the dealership and sold it. And I'm going to use that money to put towards purchasing this Komatsu and John Deere excavator. If by the end of the demo I decide to buy them. So yeah, I sold the Libier excavator with all the bucket and crane hook attachments, as well as the case, or excuse me, as well as the backhoe. I sold the backhoe with all the bucket attachments and the case excavator with all the bucket attachments as well. And the wife and I decided to sell our snowmobile as well. We were planning on upgrading come this winter to a newer snow sled. So I think that's for equipment updates. Actually, no. Where I'm headed to right now is down to the dealership to demo a New Holland skid steer, a tracked skid steer. I'm going to be demoing that as well. So that will be for a couple weeks also. So I decided to not do the concrete blocks and just to utilize some big rocks that I had around the gravel pit to put along the edge, both edges where there were quite steep drop-offs. So I got that all done. So yeah, we're going to head down to the dealership to grab that skid steer. So in one of the other episodes, I was showing everyone the property line, and I had said that it was started further up than from where we're at right now, but it actually, my property line, or our property line starts right about here, and back, everything behind us, well, not everything, but yeah, it starts right about here and goes behind me. Originally, I was telling everyone, or I had told everyone it was, I think, right around here. But no, that was not accurate. I had to do a little bit of more surveying or whatever to get the exact spot. So yeah, the utility company's been working hard the last 2 weeks. The electric company putting up the utility poles. They started down here next to where my wife and I were renting the trailer, right up ahead, where we just moved from. They started there and they went all the way down to where the gravel pit is. So they've been working hard at getting all that done. Looks like no one's moved in here yet. Alright, there it is. The New Holland tracked skid steer that I'll be demoing. The C332. It's got a super boom. Nice big Bradco bucket. So yeah. Everyone's probably wondering, good grief, why all the equipment selling and buying and everything, but I'm trying to get where I want to be with my equipment for the construction company, as well as farming and logging and all that. I'm trying to get everything in place. And I want to have the right equipment on hand to be able to do the jobs that I'll be doing. So, that's kind of why. So we're gonna head down, take this down to the property where I'll be doing some groundwork. Then I gotta go get some more equipment and haul that down, and we'll get started doing some work. Alright, so we're down to the property. I got the drone out, just kind of give you all an aerial view of everything that's got to be done. I'm going to tear up their driveway, bring in some, or dig it up and bring in some nice crushed rock. I got to bulldoze all around the perimeter of the property, as well as all of their lawn area, tear off the topsoil, bring in some nice loam, reseed it. Excuse me. I got to cut some trees on the back side of their property. Kind of some of these right through here to make their backyard bigger. I'm going to clean up and around the pond. The pond still hasn't filled up with any water or anything yet. So I made a huge error when I dug this pond. I had to contact them back a little while ago after I did it and said at some point I'm going to have to come back before it does fill up with water. And I apologized to them. I said I'm trying to get back in the groove of doing construction, so unfortunately it slipped my mind. I got to dig a trench on the backside of their pond that will probably come down to this little valley. I don't know if you can tell. There's a little valley down in here, kind of a natural ditch. I got to dig a trench and lay some piping down in there. It basically acts as an overflow system so that the pond won't overflow. All the excess water will flow down the pipe and out into the woods, into that natural ditch. I haven't dug or done a lot of ponds in my construction career, and it was not the end of the world that I forgot, but it was not good that I forgot, because you know, the pond overflowing would not be good. You got the road right there, you got their house, so they get a major rainstorm or excess water accumulation would cause the pond to overflow because the water has nowhere else to go. So I actually refunded them some money because it was an error on my part. So I could have, even if the pond had filled up, I still could have done it. It wouldn't have been easy. It would have been a pain, because what I would have had to have done is dug the trench, and all the water that I would have dug the trench down so far back to that natural ditch in the woods, and a lot of the water would have flowed down that trench, but it would have made a mess in the trench. I would have had to wait for it to dry up so that I could have laid some pipe in there, and the trench could have collapsed from all the water going down through it. So it would have just been a mess, more difficult. So I'm glad the water hasn't accumulated in the pond, so I'm able to come in and dig that trench and lay some piping as an overflow. So that's kind of where we're at. Basically just tearing up their lawn, replanting it, their driveway, digging that up, re-graveling it, clearing up some trees, digging the trench and laying some piping for the overflow. So yeah, it was a lesson learned. It could have been a hard lesson learned had that pond filled up. We haven't had much of any rain, so which is not a good thing. But it was only for me because it's allowed me to come back here and fix my mistake. So lesson learned. So I'm going to continue bringing some more equipment down so we can get started going on this property. All right. I got all the trees cut down that needed to be cut. This is the last of the trees that I have to stack up over here. The homeowners want to keep the trees that I've cut down. So it took me several trips back and forth, bringing the equipment down that I needed. I still got to bring down the roller, but I'll bring that down later, closer to the time when I actually need it. So I'll have to get in the excavator and start digging these stumps up. I had to use both the dump truck and trailer as well as the tractor trailer truck and low bed to bring everything down. That trailer that the dump truck's hauling is only rated for about 18 ton. So I had to bring the tractor trailer truck and low bed. I had to use the tractor trailer truck and low bed to bring the Komatsu down because that's 24 ton. And I brought down this log loader, the John Deere excavator. So the Komatsu bulldozer is a little bit overkill for this job, but I got 2 weeks to demo it. I figured I'd bring it down anyway and use it, as well as the John Deere excavator. So I'm going to go ahead and start digging these stumps up, and then I got to start on the trench, the overflow trench. Alright, I got all the stumps dug out, and I know that I said that I had cut all the trees down that needed to be cut, but I actually forgot a few. So there was one over here that I missed that I cut down, and there was one out front here that I missed, and I cut that one down. So we're gonna start on the overflow trench. It's gonna run right around from here straight back to that natural ditch in the back there, and I'm gonna probably, once I get all that trench dug out and the piping put in, I'm gonna build up around the perimeter of the pond a little bit, raise it up. The water level will probably be pretty much right to the top of where we're standing. So I want to raise up around the perimeter a little bit, put the overflow pipe in, and that will be that will be the overflow, the new addition around the pond will be kind of where the overflow pipe will go in. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that right now. So far, I'm impressed with the excavator. From what little bit I've used it, the only time I've actually used it was for digging up the stumps. I haven't really used the bulldozer yet, or besides moving it around. So, just want to take a few minutes in case anybody's curious. So, all the excavators that I have and have had all use the standard ISO control system. There's two types of control systems. There's the ISO, which is standard, and a lot of people refer to it as the CAT controls. There's also the SAE control system that backhoes use. And most newer excavators have a valve that you can turn from ISO over to SAE or vice versa. So most of the excavators that I have and have had have that option. So I always use the ISO standard control system. So the ISO system, basically, the right joystick controls the boom and buckets. So on the right joystick, if I pull back, the boom goes up. If I push forward, the boom goes down. If I go right with the joystick, it opens the bucket. If I go left, it closes the bucket. So the left joystick is the stick and swing. So if I pull back on the joystick, the stick comes in. If I push forward on the joystick, the stick goes out. If I go right with the joystick, we swing right. If I go left with the joystick, we swing left. So those are just that's the ISO control system. Now, basically the SAE controls, you're going to be flipping the boom and the stick. So the left stick still controls the swing. The right stick still controls the bucket opening and closing. Basically, the only difference is the right joystick will control this the stick going in and out, and the left joystick will control the boom going in and out. So it's mostly just this boom and stick are flipped. Pretty much everything else is similar. Most backhoes, if not all backhoes, use the SAE controls. But I like the ISO. That's what I'm used to. That's what I'm comfortable with. So just figured I'd throw that out there to let everybody know how that all works and what I use. So let's go ahead and start digging a trench. And most generally, when you're digging a hole, you want to be at least 2 feet from your hole when you're dumping your material. You don't have to, but it's just so that the dirt is less likely to fall back into your trench or hole or whatever you're digging. So my brother called me Mark is his name. Him and his wife live out in Colorado. And he was asking how everything was going, how the new business was going, and how we were settling in. He also works for a construction company. So, him and his wife, I guess, were talking, and they were actually contemplating on wanting to move out here to Wyoming. So I said, well, if you do, that would be awesome, and I would set you up helping me run this business. Logging, farming, construction. I would definitely be happy if you guys decided to do that. So they're going to talk it over some more. Pretty sure my wife could get my sister-in-law a job at Tractor Supply, and I obviously can put him to work helping me run the business. Wanting to hire somebody. I've been needing to hire somebody, I just haven't got around to doing it yet. So hopefully they decide to move out here. I told them also that if they did decide to move out here, that I would sell them some of the land if they decided to, if they wanted to build their own house or whatever, if that's what they wanted to do, that they could buy some of our land and build on it, close to where we live. I'd sell them some of the land where we built our house. So hopefully they'll decide to do that. That'd be awesome. That'd be really, really awesome. So I'm gonna keep digging this trench out, and I gotta get some pipe brought in. And get the pipe put in. I gotta raise up around the pond there. So it's the next morning, and yesterday I finished digging the trench out, and I started laying pipe from the natural ditch side of the property and started working my way towards the pond. I got about halfway there, then I stopped and started filling in where I had laid the pipe with dirt. And so we're about halfway done. But before I can finish that, I got to go down there today and clean up around the pond with the dozer. And then I got to haul in some dirt and gravel to raise the dirt level up around the pond, and then I can finish laying the rest of the pipe and filling all that in with dirt. So last night when I came home, I brought the log loader attachment that goes to the skid steer back with me, dropped that off down at the gravel pit, and I picked up the roller. We don't need it yet, but I'm going to take the roller down to get a different drum put on it. This is a smooth drum, and I'm going to have the garage that I'm taking it to. It's the dealership that sells these. I had ordered a soil drum. It's got all the bumps all the way around it. The big, I don't know what you would call them, but it's a bumpy looking drum, and it's good for the type of work that I do. So I had ordered one a couple weeks ago, and it came in last night. They had called me, So I'm going to take this down there and have them take this drum off. I sold them this drum, and I bought the soil drum, or roller, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to take that down, drop it off, and they should have it all done by the times that I need it on the job that we're doing. So I'll see y'all down to the job site. Oh, and the electric company, they're still working on the on the utility poles and getting everything situated. I did talk to them, and they will be done later today. And by tonight, we should have electricity to our house, so we won't need to use the generators anymore, unless the power goes out for whatever reason. But yeah, so they're finishing up that today. So yeah, I'll see you guys down at the job site. So we're back down to the job site. I got the roller dropped off. Now I get to use the Komatsu dozer. If you remember in one of the other episodes, I leased a Komatsu bulldozer exactly like this to do the groundwork where we built our house. So I have used one of these, so I know that I'm going to like it. There will be no question about that. I'm still going to demo it anyway. So as you can see behind me, the trench is done up to about here. And it goes all the way back, kind of veers off to the right, and the pipe sticks out right there, and it kind of just goes down. The overflow water will go down into that natural valley ditch. So we're about halfway down. So I gotta clean up all around the pond. Let's get started. Got a little close to the edge on that one. Well, that's all I got time to do today. I got everything cleaned up around the pond. I hauled in dirt and gravel, raised up the dirt level around the pond. I finished putting in the pipe and filling that all in. So hopefully tomorrow the roller will be done and I can bring that over here and start rolling out some of this, the top of this new dirt addition. And I'm going to need it for the when I do the driveway as well. So just coming along nicely. I apologize to them again. I said I can't believe I missed these steps with building a pond. I mean, like I said, I haven't done many of them, so I'm very rusty at doing them. So there was a few crucial things that I didn't do that needed to be done. So I came good for it with them. And they completely understood, and they said they're not going to hold it against me. So, but yeah, that's all I got time for today. So we got plenty more to do on this job, and hopefully you'll all come back and join me on getting it all finished up. Thanks for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done already, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Later.